Hare Krishna. Welcome all of you once again in our Bhagavad Gita series. So after a long time, we are again meeting in our classes Bhagavad Gita. So before we start again, we'll start our prayers and then we'll continue our Bhagavad Gita. So I request everyone to kindly recite the prayers which we regularly recite, and I hope all of you would have remembered till now. We recite the prayers to Srila Prabhupada and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and then Hare Krishna mantra, which is famous mantra. So if you have not yet remembered, then you can take out some time and recall and remember, repeat, revise, contemplate and meditate and by heart the prayers to Srila Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Hare Krishna mantra. That is already you know. Okay, so we'll start. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisbhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarobhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Shri Krishna Balaram ki jai Shri Shri Nitai Gaurang ki jai Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maiya ki jai Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maiya Snan Yatra ki jai Shri Shri Nitai Gaurang ki jai Shri Shri Raja Dhiraj Shri Nivas Govind ki jai Shila Prabhupada ki jai Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrind ki jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Bol Hare Krishna. So once again, welcome all of you. So the time period which is going on currently, it is very, very auspicious because Jagannath Snan Yatra has begun. For 15 days, Lord Jagannath will not give his darshan. And after 15 days, on 1st July, there will be grand Rath Yatra in Jagannath Puri. So if you are in the vicinity of Jagannath Puri temple, suppose in the radius of 500 kilometers, 600 kilometers, so you must make the trip and visit and go Jagannath Puri and pull the Ratha to the Lord towards Kundicha temple. So the time period which is going on is very, very auspicious. Recently in our Bangalore, Vaikuntha Hill, there is one hill. On that hill, we have Madhu Pandit Prabhu and all the devotees of our ISKCON Bangalore group. We have come up with very grand, iconic, monumental temple in Bangalore, South Bangalore, where Srinivas Govinda, Tirupati Balaji, the Govinda of Tirumala, exact replica of that temple is constructed in Vaikuntha Hill. Exact replica. The deity is 1 inch smaller, just to have Maryada, just to keep the Maryada of original temple. We have kept 1 inch smaller the deity of Rajadhiraj Govinda of Bangalore. And yesterday itself, the president of, not yesterday, the day before yesterday, president of India, Ramnath Kovind, came along with the chief minister of Karnataka, governor of Karnataka, and all inaugurated the temple and had first darshan of the Lord. So it shows that how in India now, at least it is there is spiritual vibration all around us, and let us all take the advantage of this, vibration, this vibes, and this environment and the association vibration which is there in our country, and make our consciousness bright, become more Krishna conscious, and advance spiritually in Krishna conscious way. So in this ceremony of Lokarpana, it was named as Lokarpana. So in this ceremony, Madhu Pandit Prabhu has given a very wonderful lecture, mesmerizing, short lecture about our culture, Bhagavad Gita teachings. So I would like to share that video so that all of you also get aware about the teachings and understanding what Prabhu had given in the assembly. So I'll share that. All of you can, it is a small clip only. So all of you can watch this.
Request is to all the dignitaries of state present on the dais. His grace on the occasion of Lokarpana of the ISKCON Sri Rajadi Raja Govinda Temple.
Nath Kovind, Honorable First Lady, Governor of Karnataka, Honorable Sri Tawar Chand Gehlot, Honorable Chief Minister of Karnataka, Sri Basavaraj S. Bommai, respected MLA, Sri M. Krishnappa, my dear God brothers on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday was a momentous occasion. The Lord of the universe descended from Vaikuntha into the deity as Sri Rajadi Raja Govinda to shower his mercy on the countless souls for centuries to come. This stone temple will last for centuries, serving humanity's aspiration to evolve itself into a spiritually enlightened being to free themselves from all the sufferings of this world. India is the spiritual leader of the world. This is because of its cultural richness, designed by our great sages for a progressive human society. The foundation of such a culture, Sanatana culture, is that we are born not to die, but to realize our eternal life before our body reaches the point of death. The powerful force of Kala spares no one from death. Life is a school of spiritual learning to be lived to fulfill our deepest instinct, which is to seek eternal happiness, and always we resist sufferings. If we want India to lead the world spiritually, every educated person of this great country should apply his mind to understand the great Indian texts like Bhagavad Gita. This one book is enough to guide one's life to happiness, while living in this world and thereafter. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the illustrious founder and acharya of the ISKCON movement, demonstrated how India could lead the world spiritually. At an advanced age of 70 years, His Divine Grace set foot in United States, armed with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. In 12 years, he attracted lakhs of people of all nationalities to understand the essence of Gita, which is to surrender to the practice of that universal Krishna consciousness. Modern science, despite its tremendous contributions to understanding of the world around us, has very little contribution towards the art and science of inner peace and happiness. We should know the limitations of science, but extend the modern scientific temperament to spiritual life. Scientific temperament is a universal temperament to seek truth. Just as scientific temperament has led to material progress in the last few centuries, the very same temperament can be applied to seek spiritual truth of the soul in the spiritual progress. Spiritual revolutionaries like His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada are the greatest contributors to humanity to develop this world spiritually. Just as each one of us is a microcosm of existence, in the same way the universe is a microcosm which can progress spiritually, bringing higher intelligence to handle properly the material progress. Material science, material progress is a double-edged sword. It can either benefit the entire humanity by using it properly, maturity to handle the fruits of material progress, without parallel efforts to educate people in the art of leading a life of peace and happiness. One-sided material progress will be counterproductive to the cause of humanity. Spiritual education means to educate people about the universal consciousness, which is called Krishna consciousness. In contrast with self-centered consciousness, Krishna consciousness is soul-centered consciousness, and self-centered consciousness means body-centered consciousness. Traditionally, the temples in India were not just places of religious worship, but were centers of community service. This cultural complex, which had been dedicated to humanity by Rashtrapati Ji, is beyond just being a place of worship. It is a center from where universal message of peace, happiness, and service to humanity will spread. Here, there will be no discrimination of material rich or poor, because we see materially rich are also spiritually poor if they do not live their lives as per the dharma, the laws of God. The first ISKCON temple of Bangalore North in Rajajinagar inspired the mission of Akshay Patra, acting as a bridge to take resources from the materially rich and reach the basic needs of the poor. The Akshay Patra mission has since then expanded today all over India to feed 1.8 million children every day to support their education. Rajadi Raja means king of all kings. Today we pray to the deity of Sri Rajadi Raja Govinda to inspire us with many new initiatives to serve the society with a touch of spiritualism in the coming years from this grand temple. Today's economic progress everywhere is lopsided. Many in this country are becoming richer by the day, while the poor are becoming poorer. God considers the person who cares for others what God has given him as a great step for the soul to attain peace and happiness. May this temple attract such young ones to enable.
So nicely Prabhu explained about the Indian culture and value and the role of all intelligent students, all intelligent class. What is the responsibility? Responsibility is that use your intelligence, understand the timeless Vedic wisdom like Bhagavad Gita and lead your meaningful life full of purpose and meaning. Otherwise, just material advancement is ruining our civilization. Material advancement is not the actual goal of life. The real goal is advancement of consciousness. Consciousness should be advanced. We should become Krishna consciousness, understand the purpose and mission of our life, and this message we should propagate to others also. So every intelligent Indian Hindu should come forward and understand the teachings of Bhagavad Gita and preach this knowledge to others. You see, in the society today, the society has become so demoniac. The world has become so demoniac. People are so very destructive. They don't, on the name of religion, they are doing anything and everything, all hostile activity. You see, in the society today, most trending thing which is going on about Nupur Sharma. What statement she one statement she passed, which was already being passed by Zakir Naik, another Muslim guy who is again converted. He was Hindu but got converted, and now very boldly and very critically he speaks about Indian culture, our Vedic culture. He spoke same thing, nothing happened. No Muslim came forward and did not speak anything. But when she spoke, all the Muslim country, all the 64 countries, they became so against. Now using all the what kind of mentality they are saying, to rape her, to cut her throat. To see the kind of mentality, so demoniac. Is this a religion? No, not at all religion. Yesterday, a news came that in Bangladesh there was one girl named Nupur, same name Nupur. Now the Muslims of that Bangladesh locality, they captured her, raped her, and cut her into many pieces and murdered her finally. To see what is happening in the world, in society. So it is a great need of art for all of us, especially at least Hindus, Indians should learn this understanding very strongly. Come forward, understand, and preach rigorously. It's a great need of India. At least one, India is the leader of spiritual leader of the whole world, and without spirituality, there can never be peace, prosperity, and happiness. No matter how much ever you advance, no matter how much ever you propagate Islam, you propagate Christianity, there will be no peace and prosperity, because all those religions are concocted religion, hostile religion. It is not bona fide, it is not to the mark, it is not pure message. Pure message is completely adulterated and diluted. The only pure message which is remaining is the Bhagavad Gita as it is, which was presented by Prabhupada. So unless we propagate this message, first learn, understand, and preach rigorously to whoever it can be reached, and preach very nicely, make them understand, convince them. Just see how these Muslims so bold in their preaching. That philosophy is so very all rubbish philosophy. There is no sense, nonsense philosophy. You kill the people, you kill Hindus, you will go and enjoy 72 apsaras, hoods. What is this nonsense philosophy? Whether your Allah will accept this, you kill and go and enjoy. So all bogus religions are taking place very, very rigorously. So we should at least learn from them and understand our most scientific knowledge, Bhagavad Gita. All their religions are just blind faith. Muslim, maybe it Islam or Christian, everything is just blind. And our Bhagavad Gita is most scientific and logical and practical teachings given by the Supreme Lord Krishna. The most practical. It was practical 5,000 years before. Even today, it is very, very practical. There can be no book which can be so logical, scientific, and practical. So we should understand these teachings of Bhagavad Gita and preach to the world. So when Prabhupada went to MIT, I'll read what lecture Prabhupada delivered in MIT. I have already shared this lecture, but again, today I'll just read some points. When Prabhupada was delivering the lecture in Massachusetts Institute, so Prabhupada said, please hear carefully, next 3 to 4 minutes will conclude. Today I am very glad to meet you. You're all the students of technology. This Krishna consciousness movement is another technology. Just see, Prabhupada is saying that this Krishna consciousness movement is technology. In the modern state of civilization, there are different departments of knowledge. We have so many departments of knowledge, yes or no? We have department of artificial intelligence, civil engineering, architectural engineering, mechanical engineering, chemical engineering, metallurgical engineering, so many departments of knowledge we have. There is a department for teaching medical science, there is a department for teaching engineering, so many other departments of knowledge. Unfortunately, there is no department for distributing knowledge of the science of the soul. Just see. But that is the most important knowledge, because the soul is mainstay, the background of all our movements. So there is no understanding about the soul which is moving the body. Because of the presence of the soul, this whole body, individual body, and because of the presence of universal soul, this universal body, that is universal, this cosmic world is running because of Atma and Paramatma. But there is no teaching about all these things. The idea is that in the present consciousness, I am thinking that I am the body, although actually I am not the body. This is ignorance. So today, whole civilization is living in ignorance. Body means the senses. When I am talking, I am using my tongue for vibration. So these bodily activities are sensual activities. If you go deep into the matter, you will find that the senses can act only when the mind is sound. Here Prabhupada is giving logic, just reasoning. If you go deep into the matter, you will find that the senses can act only when the mind is sound. A crazy man or dead man or madman cannot use his senses properly. Therefore, the technology of the mind is higher science. So mind is higher than senses. First of all, there is technology of the senses, and then a higher technology of the mind. So what is the technology of the mind? Can anybody tell me? Technology of the mind. Psychology. And studies thinking, feeling, willing. So through psychology, we understand thinking, feeling, and willing, and emotions, desires, all these things, psychology. Nowadays, these psychologists, they are very, very, famous. Why? Because people have become insane today. Something happens, they become disturbed, depressed, into anxiety, frustration. Thoda upar niche hua material life mein, they go into deep depression, overthinking. Then there is a need of psychiatrists, and that's how psychiatrists are running very much. So motivational speakers and psychiatrists, they are friends. Motivational speakers will motivate all of us, and we'll be motivated. Then we'll start acting, working, putting all the endeavors, but we cannot get beyond our destiny. So then, but you have heard the motivational speakers, and they have motivated that yes, follow your passion, you can do, you can achieve whatever you desire, you can achieve all those things, follow your passion. Law of attraction, these law of motivational speakers, they preach. And we get caught into this law of attraction, thinking that I can do anything and everything, I can grab the whole universe. And in that illusion, we start acting, and but you cannot get beyond your destiny. So we get frustrated, then we go into depression, deep depression, overthinking. Then we have to go to psychiatrist. So there is a collaboration between psychiatrists and motivational speakers. Motivational speakers, they will motivate and make you a psychiatric patient, and then you have to go to psychiatrist. So this psychiatrist and motivational speakers, they have a good relationship, good friendship, that you motivate and make them mad, and then they will finally come to us, and then we'll earn. So you also earn money nicely, we'll also earn money. So this is this big cheating going on. Large scale cheating is going on, but we don't know. We don't realize only. And who is the victim? All the students, young students, so-called intelligent, innocent, unguided students who don't have a spiritual sense, law of karma don't understanding. They don't have understanding of law of karma, law of nature, law of universe. They don't have understanding, so they get caught. So there is a good collaboration among all these. You know, you can call them Naxalites. Actually, they are Naxalites, Naxals, urban Naxals, intelligent people. They are, you know, brainwashing us, and they are creating all kinds of problem to our mind body system, not letting us to remain peace and into happiness. So Prabhupada is saying the same thing. Psychologists are trying to understand how these things are working and guiding us. Above the mind or mental science is the science of intelligence, and above the science of intelligence, the background is the soul. Unfortunately, we have technology for the bodily senses, we have the technology for psychology, but we have no technology for intelligence or the science of the soul. The Krishna consciousness movement is the technology of the science of the soul. Just see such a wonderful, magnificent lecture Prabhupada delivered in MIT. So that's how I'll conclude today. How the teachings of Bhagavad Gita is very, very important. Understanding of the soul, the technology of the soul, which is beyond mind and intelligence. Indriyani parani ahur indriyabhya paramana manasastu para buddhi yo buddhi parasastu swa. There is dead matters, beyond dead matters the senses are there, beyond senses there is mind, beyond mind there is intelligence, beyond intelligence there is soul. But there is unfortunately no technology to understand the soul, and what is the real well-being for the soul, we don't know. There is no clue, we are clueless of. So in Bhagavad Gita, when we read, understand, then we get all these understandings. We finally come to the understanding of the soul, and we also get the learning what is the food for the soul, how can we be happy, how we can peacefully perform our duties in this material world, and after leaving this body, we can go back to the spiritual world, which is our eternal home. So with this, I'll stop. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna for today. That's enough. Hare Krishna. So if you have any question, anybody has any question, you can ask, or else you can continue.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare